What is up, my beautiful mates of YouTube? Aussie Marcel here. In today's video, we're going to be looking at 5 fragrances that pull me back from the void and 5 cheap alternatives to those scents. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into the video.
Die Verbrennung der Amerikaner.
Starting things off, we've got my fragrance of the day, Prada L'Homme Intense. You've probably noticed I've been wearing this one an awful lot lately. I love the iris note. I love how prominent that iris note is. I love how earthy it is. I love the touch of leather. I also like how it's powdery without being overwhelmingly powdery. This one is pure class. Performance is incredible. 2 sprays get you 12 hours plus performance. If the rumors are to be believed, this has been discontinued and it's getting increasingly more difficult to find. So stock up, guys and girls. This one, you know, it's well worth picking up. Even if you have to pay an extra $20, $30, $40 for it, I still think this one's worth it. Although if you do want an alternative for this that's still available, check out Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense. Both of those sort of fill this niche, but I don't know, they're also quite a bit different as well. Now, let me know in the comments below which you prefer between Prada L'Homme Intense, and the Dior Homme Intense line. That is going to be one heck of a debate because both of those scents and their flankers are actually very good. So we're going to be starting things off with the cheapest going on to the most expensive. And the first fragrance is going to be CK Everyone Eau de Parfum. This is a vegan, cruelty-free, fresh scent. And you can typically find it for about $40 to $50 Australian. I love how fresh this is. I love that little hint of like melon sweetness as well. It smells much more close to one of the CK1 summer fragrances, but if you don't want to be paying, you know, $40 to $60, $40 to $50 for this one, and you want a cheap alternative to it, then what you should be looking for is the 200 ml bottle of CK1. 200 ml costs you $35 Australian from Chemist Warehouse. This is an incredible fresh scent. It's nostalgic for a lot of people. I've been wearing this for years. Sometimes I use it as an air freshener. I mean, there are a couple of people out there that dislike the way this one smells, but if you're sort of into how Calvin Klein does their fresh unisex scents, then this should obviously be on your radar. Next up, we've got, and I'm really falling in love with this scent, CK Eternity Eau de Parfum. I love how dark, green and herbal this one is. There's not a lot of fragrances like this on the market. It's sort of like a gothic sort of scent. It's not going to be for everybody. It's earthy, it's green, it's herbal. There's a hint of sort of like soil and earth to this one. Maybe you're not going to get those particular qualities to it, but to my nose it smells like going out bush, going out into the forest after like a rainstorm, after a lot of rain has fallen. You just get that really damp, green, piney kind of quality to it. I don't know, it smells incredible. You can find this on sale at Priceline. I believe they've got the sale on right now. You can get it for $50 Australian, but off of sale it's about $74. So definitely buy it on sale. Check it out on eBay. But if you want a cheap alternative to this, then you can't beat the original CK Eternity. This is green and herbal. It smells very natural, just like the Eau de Parfum. It's not as dark though, but it will be more mass appealing. This one is incredible, and you can find this one for about $35 at Chemist Warehouse. Man, I really love the Eternity line. They're all so good. The next fragrance is Johnny V's John Varvatos Original. Sometimes it's known as John Varvatos Heritage. This one is a fruity sweet leather fragrance. It's also got a pretty prominent wood note as well, so I'd guess you'd call it woody, fruity, leathery. This one smells incredible. Gonna have to spray this. And the cool thing about this is that I've seen bottles of this on sale on catch.com.au for $29 Australian, making this the cheapest one on the list if you can get it on the sale price, but the regular price is about $60, $60 to $70, so that's why it's in the middle. This one is incredible, and there's no real alternative that's cheaper than this one, especially if you get it at that catch.com.au price. Obviously not a sponsor. But yeah, this is well worth checking out. If you're after a leather scent that's still going to get you a lot of compliments, John Barbados is the way to go. The next fragrance we're going to be looking at is Mercedes-Benz Le Parfum, but we're also going to be looking at Bentley for Men Intense. And the reason why I'm mentioning both of these at the same time is that sometimes Le Parfum is cheaper and sometimes Bentley for Men Intense is cheaper. They're similar sort of fragrances. Mercedes-Benz Le Parfum is a very woody, floral, leathery scent. It's very sophisticated, very classy, and you can find this for about $65 to $75 Australian. Smells incredible, it really does. However, if that's more expensive, then get Bentley for Men Intense, which has a similar sort of vibe, but it's just a little more boozy. That's all it really is. It's less floral, more boozy. Replace the floral notes with like a really rummy, kind of almost whiskey quality, and you've got a good idea of what it smells like. Both of these fragrances are well loved in the fragrance community for a good reason, and I think they're sort of interchangeable, especially if they're coming in at a similar price. Just get whichever one's cheaper. Although I would say if you're after a more leathery fragrance, go for Bentley for Men Intense, or if you're after a more floral, woody fragrance, go Mercedes-Benz Le Parfum. They're both bloody fantastic. And last but not least is Issey Miyake Nuit d'Issey Parfum. This has a rich, smoky incense note with a very sophisticated vanilla note. Not dissimilar to Mercedes-Benz Club Black, but it's classier, it's richer, it's a little more animalic, it's a little more daring than that. Here's the bottle. Looks awesome. Performance is 14 hours plus with a single spray. And you can generally find this for about $100 to $140 Australian. This fragrance is almost unbeatable in terms of the notes that I look for when I'm looking for a fragrance. You've got the smoke, you've got the incense, you've got the vanilla, you've got a leather, you've got woods as well, and a little bit of amber. This one is almost unbeatable. But if you're on a budget and want a cheaper alternative, then just get the classic Nuit d'Issey by Issey Miyake. It's just a slightly harsher, less refined version of the Parfum. If anything, it's perhaps a little smokier, a little more intense in how that smoke is portrayed, a little less vanilla, more woods. It's a great alternative. In all honesty, both of them are well worth picking up. I prefer... which one do I prefer? If push came to shove, I do love that kind of screechy, smoky incense note in Nuit d'Issey. But Nuit d'Issey Parfum is very refined, it's very sophisticated, and it's a lot softer of a fragrance. So depending on your environment, this is probably the better option. Anyways, if you've ever worn these fragrances before, let me know in the comments below which is your favorite of the bunch and why. And like always guys, until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.